The UK just hit a 40-year high in inflation. They're now at 9.4%, and all chaos is breaking out across the pond. The United Kingdom, they're in trouble, and now I don't know if they have a solution to get out of this high inflation. Ultimately, COVID-19 created all sorts of uncertainty and doubt, and that led to a liquidity crisis, and central banks around the world stepped in. They pumped all sorts of liquidity and loose monetary policy pursuits as they tried to go ahead and stabilize markets. That led to 40-year highs in inflation, both in the United States and now in the UK. And so now central bankers, they got a big, tough challenge in front of them. If we go ahead and we take a look, UK inflation has hit a new 40-year high in June as food and energy prices continue to soar, escalating the country's historic cost of living crisis. The most significant contributors were motor fuels and food. And motor fuels, they were up 42.3%. The highest rate since the beginning of the start of the constructed historical series in 1989. Bank of England, they now have had 5 25 basis point hikes to interest rates as they're trying to rein in that inflation. But Governor Andrew Bailey, he says that the Monetary Policy Committee should consider a 50 basis point hike at its August policy meeting. Now, Governor Bailey says, quote, from the perspective of monetary policy, these times are the largest challenge to the monetary policy regime of inflation targeting that we have seen in the quarter century since the MPC was created in 1997. That emphatically does not mean that the regime has failed. Far from it. The regime was set up for times exactly like these. The regime founded on central bank independence is now more important than ever. The worth of any regime is tested in the difficult, not the nice times. And then Hussein Mehdi, over from HSBC Asset Management, says that the intense cost of living squeeze is putting significant pressure on the UK's consumer-led economy and means the risk of recession is high. Nevertheless, the Bank of England is likely to remain in uber hawkish mode as it attempts to counter the risk of a wage price spiral developing with recent data suggesting a still hot labor market that is contributing to domestic inflationary pressures. Now, ultimately, central bankers have lost their damn minds. We got a 40-year high of inflation. They caused it. That's literally where it started. Monetary supply growth. That's what they're doing. They've been intervening in the market for years now. They've kept interest rates artificially low and then buying up assets left and right. Even though inflation had crept up, they still were buying assets in the market. As Milton Friedman said, the government, they should be a referee. They shouldn't be an active participant in the market. But that's not what central banks have been doing. Now they're trying to show up to the burning house that they set on fire. They're trying to say, look at us. We're going to put the fire out. You don't get credit as the fireman if you're the arsonist. And ultimately, the central bank, they're in trouble because that high inflation, even though they're raising interest rates 5 times by 25 basis points in the UK, inflation is still at a 40-year high. 9.4% is unsustainable for the average family sitting there on the ground saying, how do I afford fuel? How do I afford food? I'm screwed. And so naturally, the central banks, they want to feel in control. They want to feel like they're doing something. So what are they going to do? They're going to pursue tighter and tighter financial conditions. The problem is that the solution may actually be even worse than the problem that we're already facing. No one knows what this is because ultimately they have a lose-lose situation in front of them. Do nothing, keep high inflation. Do too much, and you get a recession. They can claim that a soft landing is possible, but I don't think anyone believes that. The UK needs help, and central bankers don't seem to have all of the intricate controls that they need in order to be able to address 9.4% inflation. If you're sitting on the ground right now, all you got to ask yourself, what can I do? What can I control? How should I look at my balance sheet and my cash flow? Because at the end of the day, high inflation, it's here, and it don't seem like it's going to go away anytime soon.